So in this video, we'll be giving you some essential driving tips for your camper van. Now we're going to be covering three aspects. Number one is knowing your vehicle. Number two is setting your mirrors. Number three is how to use those mirrors when reversing out on the road or reversing onto your pitch. So number one is knowing your vehicle. It's worth jotting down height, width, and weight on a piece of paper, and you can just tuck it in the sun visor here. That way, if you come to a low bridge or a width restriction, such as in the New Forest, you'll know exactly whether you can fit through or not. You may want to give yourself a little bit of leeway. I'm sure you don't forget to do things like pull down the hecky or the TV aerial, things that I've done in the past. You may want to give yourself a little bit of leeway, but at least you have a really good idea of exactly what your dimensions are. So second, we'll talk about mirrors. You will need your mirrors, essential part of reversing your camper van. And to set them, they're electrically operated on this Bailey Endeavour. And the way I set them personally is to have the inner third of the mirror, which shows the side of your camper van. The outer 2/3 show everything behind. Now, as for top to bottom, I like to see the rear wheel in the bottom of the mirror and the top of the camper van in the top. That way I can see exactly what's going on. Now we also have blind spot mirrors at the bottom. Great when you're out and about, motorway dual carriageway. They're also incredibly handy as well when you're reversing. You can see that rear wheel. So make sure predominantly they are set for blind spot, motorway dual carriageway, but just be mindful when you're turning, they give a really good view. And also for the mirror on the other side, I would set it exactly the same. Inner third, camper van, outer third, your surroundings, and again, exactly the same with that blind spot mirror. So the third part of our camper van driving tips is actually using the mirrors. Now, if you don't tend to reverse off of mirrors normally, you'll find this is far easier than reversing on any mirrors in a car, especially if you look over your shoulder. Don't do that, purely use your mirrors. Once they are set, you have a really good field of view, and they're large as well. You can see exactly what's going on. So we'll give you a driving demonstration in a minute, but what I tend to do is watch where that rear wheel is. The camper van will pivot around that rear wheel, and if you need it to turn a particular direction, all you need to do, just turn the top of the steering wheel in the direction you want to go, and it is as simple as that. But we'll give you a practical demonstration now. So for the purposes of this demonstration, we won't be using the reversing camera. Bailey camper vans come equipped with a reversing camera standard, but this is purely a mirror demo, so that's what we're going to be concentrating on. Right, so we're going to do two reversing maneuvers now, one to the passenger side and one to the driver's side. We're going to begin with the passenger side one now. Now you need to keep an eye on both mirrors because obviously we have people around, kids on bikes, that sort of thing. But the predominant mirror that we need to look at first of all is the passenger side mirror, because the pitch we are going onto is just behind us on that side. So what I'm looking at now is the rear wheel. And also my aim point is the edge of the pitch. Now I don't want to go on the grass because it is March. I'm going to do my level best to keep off the grass, but I need to get really close. Access road's quite narrow, as is the entrance to the pitch, but hopefully it should be a reasonable demonstration of how to reverse it. So rear wheel, I want to be about an inch away from the grass. I'm giving my driver's side mirror a check as well. So about an inch away now. As I get past the point, I can see the pitch, full lock. I want to stay off the grass in front of me, which I believe I am. Now we're clear on the left mirror, loads of room on the pitch. I'm concentrating on the right-hand mirror because ideally I want to use that wind-out canopy, so we need more room to the left side on the pitch, but we need enough room to the right to get out of the camper van. So I'm on full lock now, keeping an eye on this right mirror so that I'm nice and straight on the pitch. Now I can see the edge of the pitch, we're coming up. Going to need to straighten soon. Now because we're not using the reversing camera on this instance, I'm just going to use the outside of the mirror to see where that rear bumper is. And there we go. Now we've got plenty of room to the left for our canopy, probably about 18 inches to the right to get out of the camper van, and we're nice and straight. So that's it. We can turn off and enjoy our holiday. But now let's demonstrate how to reverse onto a pitch from the driver's side. Right, so now we have our pitch to the driver's side. Principle is exactly the same. Keep an eye on the mirror predominantly that is closest to the pitch. Obviously keep checking that other mirror for people, kids on push bikes, or to make sure you don't go on the grass on that side. So I'm into reverse, looking at that rear wheel, looking at the grass, the edge of the grass on that pitch. That is my aim point. Trying to be about an inch away. Check the left mirror. So now I'm there. I'm just going to turn full lock as tight as I can. Now it's a bit tighter this side, so I'm probably going to need 2 bites. So I'm just going to watch that mirror. Back wheel is right by the edge of the grass there. Try not to go on the grass in front of me. So I may need a couple of bites. Right, so we're clear on the left. We've only got probably a couple of inches of the pitch to the left. Obviously we need that wind out canopy. So I'm just going to reverse right back now. Keep it on that full lock until it looks like I'm about to go on the grass. Just going to go right back now. Keep an eye on those mirrors. So then that'll allow me to come across to the pitch. There we go. So we want about 18 inches to the right. So we'll just reverse back, straighten up when we can see the edge of the pitch. And again, keep an eye on that rear bumper. There we go. And that's it. That is how to reverse on driver's side. So keep an eye on your mirrors. Always have an aim point, which for this demonstration was the corner of the pitch. And just make sure you have good all-round visibility. And before you know it, arriving at site will become a piece of cake. So to finish the driving aspects, we're going to show you how to reverse in a straight line. Similar to reversing on a pitch, you'll need your aim points. Now for this demonstration, I've got a lovely straight edge to the grass to the right. Got pitches to the left, but again, I can see the straight edge to the grass in between the pitches. So I'm going to use those straight lines as my aim point. So we select reverse, make sure the handbrake is off. When you go back, whichever way you want it to go, whether it's left or right, turn the top of the steering wheel to the left or the right. So I'm not quite straight now. I need to go left slightly, the back end left. So watching that rear wheel, just turn the top of the steering wheel towards the left and the back end is moving left. Checking both sides, making sure I'm nice and straight. So let's, for example, put in too much left, and you can see that I'm too close to the pitches here, and I've got loads of room to the right, too much. So let's just put in a right turn on the steering wheel, and then we can straighten it back up. Just keep checking both sides. You don't have to go too fast. It's all practice, it's not a race. So just reverse back, checking both sides, making sure you're nice and straight. And before you know it, you'll be reversing in a straight line with your camper van and you won't even think about it. So those are the camper van driving tips complete. 3 simple steps that can make the world of difference whether you're out on the road or arriving on site. It's all down to practice. So try to jot them down, maybe save this on your phone. When you arrive, just follow those few simple steps and they can be an absolute game changer.